Good morning and welcome in everyone. Now I know we traditionally cover crypto here, but I do like to talk about precious metals, commodities, the mining stocks from time to time. And I do speak about them quite often in the lives, but I do like to sometimes do standalone updates when it comes to this part of the market, especially when we're hitting like an inflection point, so to say. And right now with gold, as we can see, it's just skyrocketing off the 3,000 level. And a 1% move right now for gold, that's a big move already in the morning. And now up at 3,032, it looks like the mining stocks, I mean, they've soared now here. And look at B2 Gold now, it's sitting at $3.30. And we were watching B2 Gold and we've just been speculating on it. And it's been sitting around 240, 250, 260. And now all of a sudden here in like a week, we've jumped from the 260 range to the 330 range. And it's been across the board. First Majestic is over $7 comfortably now to $7.33, up 3.53% on the day. And just about a week ago, we were sitting down, not even a week ago. No, it might have been about a week. We were sitting down on March 11th, so 1 week ago today, we were sitting down at $5.48. So in one, whoops. Get used to it. We're getting back into the form here outside. And I can't see anything because of the sun. But I don't really want to move it because the sun actually feels good after not, feeling the sun for the whole winter here in Michigan. It's kind of nice to be outside. But we've gone 33% almost in a week on First Majestic. And remember, we're collecting a dividend as well while we've been sitting in and acquiring more and more. And for transparency, I own just over 1,000 First Majestic and whatever dividends have been reinvested. And I have just over 1,000 Fortuna Silver Mines. There is no dividend on Fortuna Silver Mines. And Fortuna Silver Mines has found itself in the last week. And we were sitting around this 430, 420 area. And we consolidated for quite some time in this pattern. And now we're finally coming back up to the higher resistance. We'll end up meeting up here at $5.86 very quickly. And that's where we're going to decide if we're ready to break out of here, if we're just consolidating more. But it's up 41% since, let's see. I think this was on Tuesday last week, believe it or not. Let's see. That's about 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, it's up over 40%, 45, about 43. So this is a sector that we're not hearing a lot about, and it's been like the most, and I talk about it in my updates, but it's the most silent bull market in precious metals and commodities that I've ever seen. And commodities, we were ahead on some, like B2 Gold never even moved. When we get into Barrick Gold, you're going to see why that's about to pop up to 21 bucks. And it's a pretty incredible thing when you start watching this. It really, really is. I can't believe how little people talk about precious metals. But anyhow, good morning. 9:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan, where this morning it's a little cold, but by this afternoon it's going to be 65. In Michigan, you get all 4 seasons in one every single day, it seems. In fact, in a couple days, we're going to get snow again. So, it'll be, you enjoy it while you can. So we're doing this one update outside. Plus, they're working on the inside of my house. So this seemed, more fitting. And I don't know how long this is going to take. When I start rambling on, I just ramble. But I want to go through each and every one of these commodities and then look where we're going. But first and foremost, silver now, because we looked at those 2 miners briefly. Silver's breaking past a key pivot point that I've had for a long time on here at $34, that for some reason it can never hold it. Going back to even the COVID year, we got up to 35 and it just came back down. And now we're looking to make a substantial move here. And this would get us into new territory finally. We had this little area right here. And that was a bull flag that formed and it ended up breaking up. Now, in my opinion, you've got another set right here. And in my opinion, you know, my opinion is just that, my opinion. So I really don't care, you know, what another person says it's going to do, because this is just what I personally see. So we know where the low was at. So now we measure the low. And it looks like as long as we hold this form, we should be coming up to 35.36. And much like gold, the significance of this is you'd be on the top side of this channel. And once you get on the top side of this, and I don't even know if you consider this a rising triangle or just a consistent uptrend that it's been on. But if it does break this next layer, this is going to be the big one to get us over 35 finally and break that COVID high. That's what we need to do. We need to take out the COVID high. And then we could make some noise here. My target in the short term here, as you guys know, is 39.41. And then in time, I know we're going to hit these levels. It's just a matter of time. And then ultimately, I think we get up to $93. So if you think about numbers at 93, where does that put the silver miners? You know, like, if we're 3 times the price of silver, we're at 34, assuming we're around 99. And that's going to put the miners, I really believe, like, First Majestic's going to be in the $20 range at some point. Fortuna Silver Mine shouldn't have any problem being in the $15, $20 range as well. I believe B2 Gold is going to be sitting somewhere around 12, but that's just the low end. I think these prices, so basically you've got 2 things you can do. You can buy gold when it's cheap, and obviously right now it's come up a lot. When I first started to tell my audience to buy it on that big dump in 22, it was sitting at $1,636 an ounce. I'll never forget it because some people bought for the first time, and that's when I had a consistent buying plan every month. Mostly silver though. And now we're sitting at $3,035 an ounce. And the amazing thing about this, and this is what's going unnoticed by most people, the DXY is still up at 103.52 for gold to be sitting at 3,035 while the DXY is at 103.5. Traditionally, gold doesn't fare this well when the DXY rises so much. Imagine when the DXY gets cut down and the US dollar values down to 90. The gold's gonna have to be at 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a very interesting tug here, and it's gone unnoticed. I think that's why there's such a big spotlight on crypto and risk assets, for this very reason. They don't want anybody in this sector. Fortunately for you and I, this is my favorite sector. I love crypto, but I have a special bond with precious metals in the mining sector. Oh, I love it. And I've tried to find gems through the years, and these are the ones I've stuck to the wall. I've stuck these ones to the wall: Fortuna, First Majestic, Barrick Gold, and B2 Gold. Yes, I'm more fond of B2 Gold. That's why I have 3,300 plus shares. And with Barrick Gold, I have like 222 or so, maybe a little bit more. No, I think I bought more, so it's probably like 300 maybe. But I do like B2 Gold a bit more. I think it has more potential. Barrick Gold, though, is one of the largest gold producers. So, I mean, there is quite a difference there. But let's go into B2 Gold so then I can show you what Barrick Gold's looking to do now. B2 Gold, we had a set push. That was my technical breakup yesterday. Or last week. Whenever that was. Oh, yeah, this is from when we... This was before it broke out. This was the measured move. Had an inverse head and shoulders. I remember talking about this on last week. A lot last week, actually. And I bought 300 more shares here. This is exactly where I bought. This is exactly what I was talking about in the open. I bought 300 more shares here last week at $2.64 because I thought it had a big bullish dartly, and that was actually a flag that formed and an inverse head and shoulders. So now the target was 330. Now it's either we break up and can get past not just 330, but take out this 343 and make that new support, or there is a very, there's a possibility, because we're breaking out of this formation, that we in fact could come back down to like 306, but it's been very pent up. It's been very aggressive. So if this makes an aggressive break, I mean, we've already tested and retested these areas. So we don't have any FVGs to worry about in this area. We've already come up and down and back through now. Now the next one we would really have to worry about is somewhere up here, because this already came back through and up. Now, really what we'd have to worry about is if it came through 342 and never touched it. Then it might come up and back down. This area, though, is pretty fair. So that's good on B2 Gold. But now you look at Barrick Gold, and then I'll release this because it's getting a little long. But Barrick Gold, it's got that same inverse head and shoulders setup. But as you notice, it's just working through this formation. So I believe it's coming up to 21. Still, it's got that inverse head and shoulders just like B2 Gold. And the technical target measured out the exact same way is up at $21.01. It's not the top of the pattern, but that's the next move. So that's what it looks like it's filling out. And we'll see if it gets stopped at 21 or if it can push past and use it as support. And then gold real quick, because obviously we have to look at the metal. We already looked at silver. Gold is working on the rest of this move here, and it's not quite done, but this is what I was talking about with gold. It's on the verge now of pushing past. Well, I mean, you don't even technically have to look at it through a channel form, but I'm trying to look at it where it needs to pass for that to kind of push past that resistance point and start using that as a support. That's kind of just a barrier. To me, if it broke above that, we would go parabolic. That's why I keep looking at that point. But on a breakout, we should, and this is the thing, we could get to the top side of this. This puts us at almost 3,100. So that's what I'm looking at for gold, somewhere up here. So we'll talk about this more in the live. And I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if this interests you. And we'll talk about crypto later. Have a good day.